sort of our systems. As IBOs and as individuals who work in Kivana, it's important that you sort of understand the systems and understand the products and understand the business. But I want to give you some of the thoughts about the science that underpins it. This may be a level that sort of, as we continue, we've been working at this for 2.5 years, and each year we kind of unfold the petals a little bit more and help people understand what the science is that really is the foundation behind all of this. And so this is going to have a little bit more of a technical science behind it. Craig always tells me that for a layman, I sound a lot like a professor. I'll try and stay the layman version too. Kivana is about systems. You've been hearing so far this morning about the business opportunities. It's an unparalleled business opportunity, and that, may be the primary interest for a lot of you. But one of the other aspects is it's an unparalleled health opportunity too. And hopefully there are a lot of you here that got into it because of the health aspects. I'm involved with the science. These are exceptional products. And basically what Kivana does, it gives you an opportunity to change your lifestyle from a business financial standpoint, but it gives you the opportunity to also change your health. Or the health of the people around you, the stories, the testimonials that you're hearing. There's some incredible stories out there. You can change the life of people around you, people you love, or even your own. But Kivana is really unique in that regard. It gives you both of those opportunities, and you can sort of focus on either one. One of the things that we want to emphasize is that Kivana is really about systems. There's a lot of groups out there that have big catalogs. You go out and find a catalog of 400 products or something. I'm a professor of nutrition. I've been at this at the University of Illinois for 35 years, and I can't figure out what I take out of those catalogs. What we've done is provide a simple concept of systems. These are complete and simple systems that really provide a foundation for your life. We're giving you a blueprint to sort of give you the help that you want. These aren't medical drugs or anything. These aren't things that are going to be magic potions. Basically, we're giving you the foundation that you can make your life. We're giving you the tools that you can be successful with. These are complete, natural, healthy products. We're using the absolute best products and ingredients we can lay our hands on from anywhere around the world. And they're scientifically developed. Most companies go out there and at best they might consult with somebody. For the most part, all of our science is developed in-house. I did it. I know what's there because I actually did the science. A lot of companies go out there and just Google things. They'll go out there and say, well, that looked good, and that's cheap, and I'll put together 6 or 8 different products. We call that my salads. Ours is based on science that we did. We're not guessing. We didn't Google science. We did it. We know it works. Metabolic, again, is a foundation for good health. It's basically a system that gives you that baseline. We've developed the first aspect of it relative to weight loss, the metabolic for weight loss system, because 2/3, almost 75% of the people in the United States are overweight or obese. That's a critical need we've got to address. We're moving into adult health. As you lose weight, as we all have an aging society, we basically need that foundation to allow us to get to those golden years, to actually have that health we want. So we're moving into the adult health arena, and we're slowly opening up into the athletic area. A lot of the metabolic science that you're going to hear about, we actually discovered working with athletes. My research was about muscle health and athletic performance, and basically our research all came out of the athletic area. So these are some where we're at and where we're going. My book, the Metabolic Lifestyle, actually the second edition is about to come out. We've approved it. It's in printing now. It should be available within about a month. And there's brand new chapters about adult health and athletic performance. So again, it's a foundation. This is where the information comes from. What I'm going to do today, though, is talk about some of the discoveries. They finally decided to let me talk about some of the real science that underpins this. This is where I cross between the professor part and the layman part. But there are some incredible discoveries that underpin why this works. Again, I discovered. So I'm going to talk about those 6 discoveries. Some of it will be a little scientific. I promise there's no quiz at the end. You don't have to, pass a quiz to get in. While it's based on unique science, though, what's really incredible about it is we spent a decade developing how to teach it. So while it's incredible science, we also have very simple concepts that you can take out as IBOs and help people understand. 2 very simple goals as you use metabolic is one is it's about protein. It's about high-quality protein, and it's about high-quality protein in each meal, 30 grams each meal. We'll go back to that point as we go along. A second aspect of it, it's about a ratio of carbohydrate to protein. How much carbohydrate can you eat in your daily diet? How much do you have related to how much protein you're getting? 2 very simple concepts. And to make that work, we've actually gone ahead and created products. A lot of people will go out and argue that their products are magical. Ours aren't magical. They're scientifically based. They're foundations. They're not magic bullets or magic juices. These are products that work because the science makes them work. These simple goals are based around a concept of plate look, which is very easy to implement in your life. It's a concept around your meal. Anytime you eat, you think first about protein. You position carbohydrates with it in a proportion, and that's where these amounts of protein and amounts of carbs come from. We developed a total meal replacement in a shake. We took not only all the guesswork out, we made it convenient. A wonderfully tasting shake. How many have tried the shakes? A wonderfully tasting, high quality. Oops. Sorry. We'll see if that works too. Getting better? Okay. Sorry. Sounded loud enough up here. I'll stop here. Complete metabolic shake. It is a complete shake. It's a perfect blend of proteins, carbohydrates, and fat. Total meal replacement. We have, which is great for starting breakfast correctly, or any meal actually. The bar, something that you can take on the road. It's part of snacks, etc. We made the products that make life convenient, make it easy to do, and they're perfect metabolic products. Okay, so now I want to talk about some of the discoveries that we have that really underpins this science. The first one is really the discovery of leucine. Leucine is one of the essential amino acids that I actually didn't discover it. That was done in the 40s. Essential amino acids were done in the 40s. But what I did discover was the metabolic signal that we get from leucine. We discovered the role of this amino acid as a unique trigger for what we call synthesis of new protein, protein synthesis, and particularly in muscle. The metabolic correction we talk about is based on what happens in your muscles. So we discovered that. I like to show this picture. Craig cringes when I do it, but again, no quiz later. Basically, this molecule called leucine affects a protein. It's actually an enzyme inside of your muscle cells. Scientists love acronyms. We call it mTOR because we don't like to pronounce all the other letters. mTOR is an enzyme that actually triggers a whole series of processes that cause protein synthesis. Interacts with hormones like insulin. The older we get, the more important this signal becomes. When you're a child, you're driven primarily by the hormone side. But after you stop growing, you become much more sensitive to the protein side of this. And the health of your muscles is totally dependent on how much and when you eat protein. So that's the issue, short to large scale. Basically, what we discovered was how this process, this leucine, interacts with hundreds of other molecules to make this process start. It's an absolute trigger. And we have published over 40 peer-reviewed papers just on the topic of leucine. We are the world leader. My laboratory is the world's leader in understanding how this amino acid works in making health of muscle correct. Second discovery. Once we knew that leucine was this trigger for protein synthesis, then we had to figure out how it fit in the diet. And once we knew that leucine was the trigger, we understood how much leucine it took. And based on that, we then could determine how much protein we had. And so what we determined was basically there's a meal threshold for protein. And every meal you sit down to eat protein, if you don't reach that threshold, the protein in the meal becomes meaningless. And we discovered that. We published this 2009. It was one of our first publications. This was ahead of the last dietary guidelines. Just about a month ago, the American Dietetics Association, a national publication from them, came out and said for adult health, all adults should be eating 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal. We got it from us. What we found was, as we looked at the diet of Americans, we now know that it takes about 30 grams of protein to trigger protein synthesis, and that in the range from about 30 to 55 grams at the meal, it's effective. The average American has 10 grams in their Special K breakfast in the morning. It becomes absolutely meaningless. It is nothing but extra calories. If I was going to design it at breakfast to make you obese or maybe give you diabetes, I'd put together Special K with a banana and orange juice. Anybody have that? For about 30 years, and what did it get you? How'd that work? Basically, most Americans have less than 20. And most Americans at dinner time, after 7 o'clock at night, eat over 65% of their protein. So what we have is a total misdistribution. It's an unbalance. We eat too much at dinner and not nearly enough at breakfast and lunch. So what we have done is gone to a balanced distribution, and you're going to see more and more of this about in the press. The next dietary guidelines in 2015, you're going to see more and more of this. We're just about 5 years ahead of the curve. And so what we have done is created a system and products to allow that to be convenient. When you do that, you correct your metabolism, you correct your body composition, and you lose the weight you want. A third discovery. As I said at the beginning, when we discovered all of this, we were working on exercise. And so we know about as much about protein synthesis and athletic performance and muscle development as anybody anywhere. If you go into the GNCs and you look for things on their shelf, you're going to see the words leucine and branched chain amino acids. You follow back where they got that research, they got it from me. So we published extensively in the exercise area also. What we now know about exercise is that, again, so meals are important, but one of the key times is when you go out and do your workout, when you do your exercise, when you do your practice, when you have your performance, whatever it is, for about 2 hours during that exercise, your muscle actually begins to break down itself. That's actually what training is. When you train to do a new athletic event, you go through the exercise and you break down your muscles for a while, and then you have to build them back up. It's that repair and remodeling that allows you to get stronger. It allows people to recover from illnesses. But what we found out is that after an exercise or workout, you have about 2 hours. If you don't take in the right protein in the 2 hours after that exercise, you lose at least 50% of having done it.
Oh my God.
You'll get the exercise expenditure of calories. You'll still burn calories. If you walk the mile, you burned 100 calories. That's still there. The actual metabolic correction, the development of your muscles, the development of your mitochondria, you'll lose 50% of the effect of doing it. What we have found is that what individuals need to do, though, is they have to take protein right afterwards. And that was actually the original development of the bar. The bar was first developed as a post-exercise recovery bar for athletes. It's great for a snack for weight loss. It's great for adults. It's great for use for kids. It was developed for athletes. And what we discovered was that when you do exercise, it actually lowers that threshold. Remember when I mentioned that a meal was 30 grams? If you've just done exercise in the next 2 hours, it only takes 15. And so we've developed the 15-gram, the bar, plus the additional amino acids in it. There is nothing like that bar in the market. You can go to any health food store you go to any other place in the country, in the world, and you'll never find a bar that's equal to that one. Okay? It has no peer. Basically, it's an ideal blend of protein and amino acids. It gives you that immediate recovery. It will maximize muscle development.